Bacon is trying to feed it up. Here come the Bruins across the line with Brandt dropping it off to Landa Kusick. He scores! Landa Kusick puts it between the pads, and Kyle Johnson and the Bruins have 2 early goals. Kyle in the right wing corner. Defended by Robichaud. He spins off of him. Still with it. Gets help from Chase now. Chase will leave it down the boards to Crawley. Crawley pulls back right into the slot. He scores! Brandon Crawley cuts into the slot, rips it off the post and in, and has his 2nd goal of the year to give the Mariners a 1-0 lead with 4:11. Picked up but not out of the zone, right in the glove of Kyle. One-timer, they score! Sean Day with a rocket from the right circle after the Beast failed to clear the puck out. Kyle clubbed it and then set up Day, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead with 2.5 to go.
All right, January 26th, episode 16 already? Whoa, buddy. Well, I'm Ian. Blake's over there.
Hello.
And we got a special guest today. Former, and I might just have to say Hall of Fame Bruins announcer, but now with the main Mariners of the ECHL, Michael Keeley joining the show. How's it going?
Hey, guys. I think we need to talk to Cooper and Craig about that Hall of Fame thing. I like the idea.
Well, hometown hero's a thing now here. We can put in a good word for you. Maybe we can get you back. And
well, we're at what? They're at their 10th anniversary season, right? So I think it's about time to start compiling a list.
Well, there'll be you and me, Skip Ryan, Blake,
Garbage bitch.
We'll
and
get
then we got to put Kirby in there somewhere.
Yeah, just
Kirby in there somewhere.
Oh, he's in there for sure.
Well, Jimmy's going to be an honorable mention because it was a clean hit, right?
It was a clean hit.
I mean, John Peterson as well is working in the ECHL with me, so shout out John Peterson.
All right. So I'm just going to get it started. So since you've left us here in Austin, how has it been in the ECHL?
Well, I definitely miss everybody there. I was there for 3 years. Bruins will always be a big part of my life and the city of Austin. And it's been awesome out here. I'm an East Coast guy. Grew up in upstate New York, so getting back in the East Coast was something I was trying to do for my next step. And luckily enough, the Maine Mariners had an opening, and I was certainly ready to make the jump to pros. And we just got off the ground as an organization last season. It was our first year in the league, and I've been through that before with a first-year NAHL team before the Bruins, Keystone Ice Miners. So kind of knew about what it was like starting up a team. It was a little bit easier here because there had already been pro hockey with the Portland Pirates and the original Maine Mariners in the AHL. So it was great first season. Learned a lot about how the pro game works differently than juniors, and there's a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences as well. And now into year 2, we're hoping to make the jump to the playoffs this year, just over the halfway point at this point, and really enjoying it out here. Maine's a great place to live. Obviously, in the summer, it's second to none, and the winters aren't quite as cold as Minnesota, but we do get our fair share of snow. So I've enjoyed being here, and as long as I'm here, it's a really good spot to be.
Yeah, if there's ever an opening for a stat person with the Mariners, hit me up. I'm looking for the jump too.
Or garbage bitch.
Or garbage. Yeah, I've been trying to keep up.
I will keep you guys in mind.
Thank you. I've been keeping up with the Mariners a little bit this year, and you have. What's your record this year? You did go on a little bit of a skid there for just a little bit, like a month ago, but you seem to have turned it up.
We so right now at the time of this recording, we are 21, 19, 1 and 1. So we've been an up and down team this year. We did go on a 5-game losing streak beginning of the month, basically right after the New Year happened, and then we played 8 games in 10 days.
Yeah.
Which is why I couldn't do the show last week because I was a little bit tired. But they lost the first 3 of that, but then went 3-1 and 1 in the last 5. So picked it up a little, and then this past weekend we had kind of a weird weekend. We played Worcester in a home and home, and beat them 8-1 Friday at home, and then lost 2-1 last night, heartbreaker. So right now we're 2 points out of the last playoff spot in the division, but we have, I think, 4 games in hand on Adirondack, which is the team in front of us, and we play Adirondack 3 times this week. So still very much in it. Still, 38 games to go, I believe. So I like the team's chances. It's a good team. It just really hasn't taken off, gone on a run yet. Hopefully they'll get that started pretty soon.
Yeah. So I'm not too familiar with your guys' roster, but Alex Kyle, is he still around?
He is. He's tied for the team lead in points.
There you go.
He was actually the first ever Maine Mariner. He was the first one to be signed back in the summer of 2018, and last season played about half the year with us, and then got called up to. He actually played on 3 different AHL teams last year. For people that don't know, ECHL players can go up to any AHL team, not just their affiliate. Our affiliate happens to be the Hartford Wolfpack, and then the New York Rangers. But Alex played on 3 different teams, and Laval, the Laval Rocket, the AHL affiliate of Montreal, he played from January 1st of last year through the end of the year. He was up there, but they decided not to bring him back, so we signed him again, and he's been here all year so far, and has been one of our best players, tied for the lead, team lead in scoring, and very fun player to watch and a good guy.
Yeah. Another player I have a question about, and Taylor Camerata, former Gopher, is he still hanging around?
We actually just traded Taylor.
All right, I'm cutting this interview off.
He was traded to Orlando a couple weeks ago. Right as that losing streak was happening, we needed a little shake-up, and he was the odd man out, unfortunately. Nothing he did. I mean, he was putting up points, but he was a guy that had some value, and
so we got rid of
him to Orlando.
Well, if you don't make the playoffs, go back to that one right there. I'm kidding with you.
They traded him in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, so I can see it.
So I'm going to switch the gears a little bit.
Because in all seriousness, our fans, they'll get upset when we trade some of their favorite players, and I understand that. But I always say you got to remember that to get something of value, you have to give something of value. So you can't just go ahead and trade the guys that are underachieving and expect to get something good for them. And the Mariners got Connor Bleakley, a former first-round draft pick of Colorado. They got him from Idaho in the trade. It was a 3-team trade. And, you have to give up a guy like Camerata to get a player of that caliber. So certainly wish him the best in Orlando, and hopefully he'll have fond memories of his time in Maine.
Yeah, speaking of trading one of your team's favorite players, maybe. I remember it was my first year with the Bruins. We traded Derek Olmshank to the Magicians. And we tried keeping it low-key, but I think it was 2 games later we were playing them, and then everyone's like, why is he on? Who's this? And then, I don't know if we got any from that, but it was people were not happy with us for that, but I think it ended up working pretty well.
Yeah, that was we made the playoffs, because that was I think 2015-16 season.
Yeah, that was your
first. I think that was my first year. Same year we traded Dawson DiPietro that season as well.
Yep.
And I know there were fans not happy about that, but I mean, it worked. I still say if Gilbert Gabor had not gotten hurt in that playoff series, we may have made a run. I think we probably would have had a really good chance to beat Bismarck. We took them to 5 as it was, 1 win away from the Robertson Cup Final Four there. So, say what you want about those moves, but obviously the team came together and was so close to making a run. But that was a really fun season, and I do remember that Derek was. Obviously he was a second or third year Bruin at that point, and that was kind of a shocker.
I'm looking at Blake because I think our brains clicked on something. It's funny how it's come full circle. Our first year we had Gilbert Gabor, yeah. Now we got his brother Kevin. I don't know if Kevin really steps up to the same prowess as his brother did, but
this is his first year. I think give him a couple more years. I mean, he's going to be with us for a couple years at least.
I hope so. But
But hopefully we can go full circle with Kevin going there and getting the playoff.
Yeah. So, you being here with the Bruins, were you with us when Cothan Butel broke the all-time scoring record?
I was.
Yeah.
So last night, Dante Sheriff broke Cothenbuehle's record. I don't know if you've kept up anything with us this year, but what do you think Sheriff's future is like if he can contend up there?
Yeah, I'm not surprised, that happened, and congratulations to him. He's obviously a dynamic player, and I remember from the moment we traded for him, you could tell he was special, and he scored in his very first game. It was in Bismarck, and he quickly became one of the best players on the team, and I guess he's in his third year now, and I'm not surprised to see him. I mean, I had forgotten how many years of junior eligibility he had left. I thought he was going to age out after last year. When I saw that he still had another year, my first thought was this guy's going to lead the NAHL in scoring because he's that good. And I'm pretty sure he's pretty close to doing that right now. You guys probably have the numbers in front of you, or closer access to that than I do. But he's a special player, and hopefully he can have a good college career and get a chance to play in the pros, because I'd certainly like to cover him again someday. And I definitely miss watching him out there and seeing the things he can do. And I'll never forget the goal in the playoffs my last year where he batted it out of the air in Cloquet in the clinching game of that semifinal, divisional semifinal round. So good for him, and I'm sure Trav will congratulate him if he hasn't already.
Yeah, I know. Dante, he's going to Mercyhurst, and I think we have like 3 players that committed there last year. Sheriff, Dom, and then, was it Miller? Miller's going to RPI. I think it was one of our goalies was going to Mercyhurst. I don't know. I think Mercyhurst is going to get stacked up. They might make a run. I don't know. We'll find out. It's going to be a Bruins team over there.
And speaking of top points, I mean, Dante Sheriff at this point does have the most points in the NAHL.
Really?
At 51. Even though he did go through like a month of just a scoring drought where he just got a couple assists. Yeah, he's at 51 points right now. So, but also at 89 penalty minutes. That dude gets in the box more than anybody else.
How many penalty minutes does he have?
89.
Oh, 89?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
the
surprised.
top guy has 182, but I mean, he's pretty high up there. Top 20 for sure.
Well, since we're talking about Bruins, Keeley, give me a couple. Let's say top 3 if you can think. What's your favorite Bruins memories? And it doesn't even have to be on the ice. It can be off the ice if you would like. I just want to see what you got.
For sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I mean, in just a general sense, I miss playing boot hockey with you guys. I mean, that was one of the more fun things that we came up with there in the last year and a half or whatever it was. Carl Jackson, you guys, Sam Hauser. Shout out Sam. Hope you're doing well in New Mexico.
Oh, he is.
Jessie, of course, Jackson's girlfriend, and it was so fun to have that, to blow off some steam after games and make those videos, and I certainly miss that. So that's one off, even though that's technically on the ice. I guess it's off the ice and on the ice all at once. But in-game moments. I mean, my first year making the playoffs and winning Game 3, and then winning Game 4 against Bismarck. Game 3 was, of course, the 7-0 or 8-0 blowout where Jade Miller scored when Bismarck was basically just trying to run out the clock, and the place went nuts. And then even though Gabor got hurt in Game 4, the Mariners found a way to pull it out and send it back to Bismarck. So that's definitely one of my top memories. Obviously, all the Paint the Rink Pink nights stand out. I think the Bruins were able to win 2 of the 3. They lost the first one, and then second and the third ones that I was there, they won pretty decisively. I think Justin Miziak had a hat trick the one year, and then we had what's his name? Skipping my mind. The player we traded for from Minot. Help me out here, Ian.
Oh, we got Murphy, Ryan.
Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy.
Yep.
Jack Murphy scored his first Bruins goal on Paint the Rink Pink night.
Yes, he did.
2017. That was a really cool moment. And I think it's just single game moments. My last year, it was a game in Brookings. We rallied from a 4-0 deficit to win in overtime. Dan Petrick scored in overtime in that game, and that was just, I've never seen a team come back from 4 goals down to win a game, and they did it on the road, which is super hard to do. And I'm always a fan. As a broadcaster, I love calling big comeback wins, and been fortunate enough to do a couple of those here with the Mariners, but that game stands out in my mind as well. But just calling games at Riverside was awesome. One of the best atmospheres in the NAHL that I got to experience, and too bad that we couldn't make the Robertson Cup in any of my years there. But two pretty good teams out of the 3 that I covered, and a lot of good memories with you guys.
Oh, well, speaking of NBHL, National Boot Hockey League. Oh, me and Blake were talking. What are some memories you remember from that? I remember Blake making some good saves, and I think you made a couple clutch goals. Let's see if we can recall any good memories from this league.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Blake was definitely. I know when Carl Harris did yell at me for not shouting him out as being a good goalie as well, because that was the thing, and putting on the pads and the gear and everything. But no, Blake, yeah. I mean, it's none of us really wanted to play goalie except you. So
he had a better save percentage because he put on all the shit. I didn't have any of that.
Some of the more fun games I remember is when Aaron and his kids played with us, and we had some fun there. And let's see what else. Yeah, I think the very first night we played, we kind of got to see everybody. Everybody got to kind of adjust to how to play. Like, when you're out there with, on ice with just boots, and you have to decide how fast you want to run. And I know, Blake, you didn't care. You were just going full speed ahead. If you went head first on the board, so be it. And not all of us were that brave. Of course,
I got punched. I got checked a couple times into the boards.
I remember there's a GIF. I could probably pull it up on the old NBHL Twitter. I can't remember his name, but it was one of the friends of Carl that worked with us, like the last, because he brought in 2 of his friends from Mankato.
That was Justin.
Hit you from behind a little bit. It did look a little nasty, and I'm still appealing.
Yeah, I think the league decided that there was embellishment.
Oh fuck!
And I'm still appealing that phantom ghost trip that I tripped Ryan or Ryan tripped me, whatever that was. I'm still appealing that to this day.
I won't leave out your overtime winner too, where you jumped up against the glass as if there was somebody watching.
Yeah. And then I got called for I got a excessive celebration.
I'm still mad about that because we gave up the tying goal with like 1 second left. And then you scored in overtime.
I beat Carl fucking top
shelf. I was pretty pissed about that. That was But anyways, that was fun. I wish we could go back and have those times again.
Oh, well, I know we should. Well, maybe we'll have to make a trip up to Maine and just bring the whole crew.
Whole crew of both of us.
Yeah, I don't know if unfortunately the arena is booked a little bit more.
Yeah.
Up here. In fact, last night, our last home game Friday, we had there was an event. It's called Portland on Tap. The next day, and they had to put the floor on, basically build the floor right after our game. So the arena crew works really hard. Not to say the Riverside crew doesn't, but they have to constantly take the floor on and take it off and do different things with different events, with covering up the ice logos when we're not playing and things like that. So credit to the Cross Insurance Arena operations staff as well.
Yeah. Blake, you got anything right now? I'm just looking down at my sheet here. All I have left really on my sheet is the NHL, the All-Star game last night. And
I got nothing.
The skills. Did you watch the skills competition?
I'll just jump and say I didn't watch it because we had a game.
Oh well.
In Worcester, but
I watched some highlights. That was about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of All-Star games at all in general anymore. The only one I really watch is the baseball, and even though it doesn't even dictate home field advantage in the World Series anymore, which I agree with. I don't think it should. But I do think that it's the most entertaining of the All-Star games because it's actually played like an actual game, and all the other ones are just Pro Bowl was today. I don't think anyone really watched that.
Nope.
And
I think it's on right now, isn't it?
I think so.
The 3-on-3 is good. The 3-on-3 is good. I think it's entertaining, and it's probably the right format for the All-Star game. But I mean, you don't get anything that's close to an actual NHL game.
No.
And I don't know that that's great for the game. I mean, it's cool to see the skill of some of the players, but the goalies are just hung out to dry. Nobody's playing defense, and I mean, those are two big parts of hockey: goaltending and defense, and also hitting and fighting. Even though fighting is less and less, but you don't get to see any of that stuff in the All-Star game. So I think it's kind of just run its course. I think they might need to mix it up and try to come up with some new things to get it to be more appealing again. But obviously to everybody that still enjoys it, it's cool to see the skill of the players and marvel at how much talent is out there.
I think the only thing that I can think of being an all-star game thing that's really struck out in my mind for the past couple of years is the John Scott controversy thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like they tried to make him go to the minors so that way he couldn't even play. And I think that's like the only thing that stuck out to me recently.
I was talking to one of my coworkers about that, and I think I told them that was the last one I'd watched, the last All-Star game I'd watched. And I was actually looking back. I stumbled upon my Facebook memories, and I had a post on there where I was actually trashing on the NHL for allowing it to happen. And then like 3 hours later, I went on there admitting I was wrong and saying, "Oh, that was so awesome. The John Scott thing was a great story." And I mean, like it's one of those things where if you're gonna let the fans decide who's in the All-Star game, then you better be ready to suffer the consequences of something like that happening.
Don't be upset with who they pick.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool because he was, a guy that's underappreciated his whole career, but he played a very important role in a time where fighting and having an enforcer was a big component of hockey. And to see him, in the spotlight there and have success, that was really cool. And, I'm not saying the NHL should go out of their way to do that because it's probably something you can't really replicate again. But I do think they should take a lesson from that, and that's people really enjoyed that. And again, I don't know if there's an easy answer of how you could take that and make another event that's equally as intriguing. But that's the last big All-Star memory I have too. And but even like the NBA skills competition with the dunk contest and the 3-point contest, to me and I'm not even a big NBA guy, but that's more entertaining to watch than the NHL event.
Yeah.
And, just coming from a diehard hockey fan, I think it speaks volumes.
But even like now, like you just brought up the NBA, like the dunk contest and stuff. More and more players that even get selected to that are just saying, "No, I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
Like Ovechkin the last couple of years has said, "Nope, I'm not doing this." And I don't know if that's why, but I feel like it's just taking a toll out.
Because unlike the Pro Bowl, this happens halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like they have to think about their well-beings of like it being a physical sport. I know the All-Star game, they don't go as hard as they do in a real game, but it's 3-on-3. It's like the most exhausting part of the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And to go and tax your body for a worthless game is kind of useless.
But still, I mean, even with the Pro Bowl, most of the players don't care about that either. In fact, even after the season, like, I mean, besides the fact that they get a free trip to Hawaii, I don't think that they are thrilled about being there. So I think that the issue isn't even necessarily the timing. I think it's just the All-Star games they're just not something that the players are looking forward to. And I don't, obviously there's money to be made off of it, and you want to showcase the best of your sport and the best of your league, but at some point it becomes self-defeating. If the players aren't into it and the fans aren't into it, you almost have to consider, okay, let's just name the teams and not have the games. I mean, that's the harsh reality of it. I think, like I said before, maybe it's because I'm a baseball fan, but I feel like it works in baseball still. You have the home run derby, you have the All-Star game, and there's still a pretty long break in between. And I guess baseball isn't as taxing. I mean, over the course of a long season it is, but within the game itself, to your point, Blake, it's not as taxing within the game itself. And plus, pitchers are only going to go an inning or two, and position players, the starters will play like 4 innings and then they get replaced. So it's just a different animal. But I really do think, NBA, NFL, and NHL might have to seriously look at doing something other than an all-star game. Maybe you just do a skills competition.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that is more interesting, and players have more fun with that. And then maybe you just cancel the all-star game altogether. But it is an interesting conversation.
Well, we know that's all the Vikings have to look forward to at the end of their seasons is Pro Bowl. So, but
You son of a bitch!
But yeah, I like me as a fan of like any sport. Like I'll watch like the All-Star games, but like me, I love watching the home run derby, skills competition.
Yeah.
It just seems more fun and more appealing, and maybe the players are more willing to do it, like because it's not as exhausting to them. And you know, this year the NHL they did a couple new things. They introduced the women's 3-on-3 USA versus Canada. That was cool. And then they did the shooting stars where they shot from 30 feet above ice level.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That was cool. That was something different. And I don't know, they're trying new things, but then I didn't even make it through the whole All-Star game last night. I was too busy watching the Gophers sweep Ohio State.
I was too busy playing video games because I didn't give a shit.
Of course you were.
No, I think that's general consensus. I think it really is. Like if you were to poll the average sports fan and say, you know, home run derby versus all-star game, what do you prefer? Dunk contest versus all-star game, what do you prefer? You know, skills competition versus all-star game, what do you prefer? And I think by a pretty heavy margin, the skills competitions would win out. So, you know, name the teams, you know, give the guys recognition because in the end, when the writers are voting on the Hall of Famers, you know, they, you know, 5-time all-star, that matters. But, you know, what you did in the game itself, it really doesn't matter that much. And it definitely has lost its luster in just about every sport, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, like, even now, like, the Pro Bowl, like, I could care less watching the game, and I know they're trying to focus more on their skills competition. Like, I think Cousins did pretty well in the...
Cousins did pretty well in the quarterback.
And then they did a dodgeball game. That was pretty fun. Like, that had nothing to do with really football, but it was something different. And I understand they're trying to make you a little holdover till the Super Bowl, which is going to be a great game.
Which, hold on, let's speak about that. Keeley, who do you have in the Super Bowl?
I have the 49ers, but I think it really is a toss-up here. I mean, I think in a lot of recent years, there's been an obvious favorite, and I don't think that's the case this year. I think
they're even.
It's a really cool matchup of a really good defense versus a really good offense, and then you know, a team that's built more on the running game versus a team that's built in the passing game. And I'm really excited to watch it and see what wins out. But usually the pattern is the defense wins out. You think about Denver a couple of years ago when they just shut down Carolina, and you know, the Patriots last year. So there have been other games. You know, the Patriots-Eagles game obviously was really high scoring, and Patriots-Falcons, but most of the time a really good defense wins out in the end. So that's my rationale for picking San Francisco. But the cool thing to me is we're going to have a new champion, you know, someone that hasn't won in a long time. And either way, it'll be a good story, and it's good for the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see. So if San Francisco goes up 24, we know the Chiefs are going to win. So we know this. We're good. So Patrick, I just don't know. Patrick Mahomes, if he gets out of the pocket, I feel like Joey Bosa is going to just chase him down. But then you got Kittle, tight end for one team, and you got Kelsey for another. Dueling quarterback. I think it's going to be higher scoring. I don't know. They say defense wins. I feel like last one to have the ball really is going to win.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game. I feel like it's going to get close.
Who you guys both taking Kansas City then?
I got Kansas.
Oh,
yeah.
God. I have never really actually put thought into this, but...
I like Mahomes a lot better than Garoppolo. And that's kind of my...
Just because they beat the Vikings?
No. Fuck Garoppolo. All right?
But, no, I like Kansas City, too. Mahomes is a great guy, but, like, the last couple games, it looks like San Francisco is just unbeatable.
But then again, they did face the Vikings in one of those, and they suck ass.
But, again, like, San Francisco looks unbeatable, but so did Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, Baltimore went down.
And fucking tighten up. Derrick Henry just showed that. I thought I was almost picking the Titans to go.
I was almost picking at the beginning of the playoffs. I had Ravens versus
Niners.
Ravens versus Packers actually going.
You had Green Bay?
Well, I knew the Vikings were going to make it, so I mean that's like a fucking given right there.
So I guess if I had to pick, I'd go Niners.
Okay.
So you're going. So we got two Niners versus
Niners
one Niners and two Niners and a Chief.
Well, I'll put money on it.
Put money on it? All right. So.
I will not put money on it.
No, I'm not good at betting. But I will tell you, there will be a March Madness competition on this podcast. We will be filling out brackets. There might not be money, but we're doing brackets. You know?
I'll put down $5.
Okay, I'll put that down. Sure.
I don't follow college basketball at all.
If you guys get Carl involved in that, make sure he fills out only one bracket because he likes to fill out 3, 4, 5 brackets.
Yeah, and then he likes to cut down my Photoshop, which I'm just getting into. I'm sorry. God.
Oh man, it wouldn't be us if we just bust on you a little bit.
I know. I don't get that anymore much. I mean, I get it from Brian a little bit.
You know you secretly miss it.
I do.
Yeah, we get it from TJ, but his is more like a serious thing.
Yeah, his
he just gets pissed at himself, and then like he throws it out at us.
Yeah.
But last year I was doing a camera, and I don't know what happened, but he got pissed and he threw a pen down.
Hit me twice.
And it fucking hit Ian. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know how he got so upset, but he threw it twice. And it hit the fucking.
It happened last year, then it happened again this year, and I don't know. Like both times, yes, the Bruins lost, and and it was just, and it's not all his fault. Hockey TV has been unreliable. They've been. Do you guys use Hockey TV or what's your stream? The ECHL uses.
We use Endeavor Streaming, which is formerly known as New Lion.
Yeah.
I've been happy with
really?
them, and the service is ECHL.TV, but it is run through Endeavor Streaming. So shout out to ECHL.TV. You guys should subscribe to watch the Mariners live in HD.
I listen to it.
How much are they? Their package, or is it free to watch?
There's different packages. You can buy the games. The individual games I think are $8.99. But you can also buy a team pass or a league pass. I'm not sure. You have to check. I'm not sure if there's mid-season rates going on right now. But,
see, that's what I like.
Or you can listen. You can listen to the games for free on MarinersOfMaine.com, which I know Blake has done a few times.
Yep, I've listened to that.
I've tuned in a couple. But, see, that's what I like. If you can just do a team package. That's where I feel like Hockey TV falls short. Like, can I just, buy the Bruins package? Like, I love watching all the hockey, but, I'm not paying $180 mid-season to watch maybe a couple games.
Put in a suggestion, Ian.
Huh?
Put in a suggestion.
Oh, I will. I mean, my name is pretty synonymous in the NAHL now, so we're good.
I don't know about that.
Hey, Paul Teeple has thrown it around, so...
Who?
Have you done the scoring at the showcase yet? We got to get you out there.
No, I wanted to, and then you were my guy. You were saying it, and then it kind of fell off the table with the switching of the minds between you and Carl leaving.
You got to be proactive, man. I'll put in a word with TJ if you want.
Yeah, sure, do it. 'Cause I'd do it. I'm down.
I'll go be garbage.
But actually, speaking of camera operators, I saw that they are going to robot cameras now at the Super Ring. I don't know if you guys saw that. They've got self-operating cameras. I think there's a sensor and it just follows the puck.
No way.
Kind of strange.
You're taking my job.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Come on, the robots are taking over, Blake. You got to get on top of it.
Son of a. See, I do a better job than the robots, so they can fuck off.
I know this year our camera's been inconsistent at best. Mr. Ehrenheimer, I'll be at every game. Put me in the book. Been put in the book. 2 games.
2 games.
2 games.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick on hockey. There's one more thing I want. What are you thinking the Sabres? What do they got left this year?
Yeah, it's been a frustrating season. They got off to a really good start. Similar thing to last year, where they got off to a good start and they fell off. But they haven't. Their fall this year has not been as steep. And they've been kind of every now and then they'll win 2-3 in a row and they'll look good, and then they'll lose a big game. And right now, I think they're still significant amount of points out. There's still a lot of season left, but I think Ralph Kruger has been a good hire. I think obviously Jack Eichel's having a career year, but he's been really the only guy. And Sam Reinhart's been pretty inconsistent. Jeff Skinner's been hurt. I just saw he was back at practice today, so hopefully he's back soon. And then they've had the rookie Olofsson really come out of his shell, but he's also injured right now. And then they just haven't gotten a lot of secondary scoring, which was a problem last year. And early on in the season, Marcus Johansson, he was really good, and then he tailed off. Same with Connor Sherry. And, they've got a pretty good fourth line that is tough to play against, and their defense is, they have a surplus of defensemen. They finally traded Scandell a couple weeks ago, but, it's Olmark is taking over between the pipes, and it's just he's been pretty good, but I don't know if he's a true number one in the NHL or not. So I still think there's some moves that Jason Botterill should make or look to make, whether it's at this deadline or in the off season, to add probably another center with experience and probably another defenseman. You have enough D to use some trade chips, whether it's Zach Bogosian or I know Ristolainen's name was on the trade block a lot, and I'm kind of in favor of keeping him around. I kind of like his game. He's physical, and he's been around long enough now where he knows how to play in the NHL. But, I still try to watch every game, but, I get frustrated when they look so good one game and not so good another game. And I don't know that they can make the playoffs this year. I think it'll take quite a run. There's too many good teams in the division and in the conference. But I do see a slight step forward under Kruger, so I'm optimistic about that. But I hate to see them waste another year of Jack Eichel's prime, and I certainly hope he doesn't get frustrated. I know he's on a long-term deal, but I don't want to. Once you lose Jack Eichel, not in the physical sense, but you lose him in the sense of he's frustrated. He doesn't want to play anymore. He's checked out from his time in Buffalo. Once you lose him, then you're starting over again. So I hope that they can take a big step forward next year, and that's probably at this point, the focus in terms of trying to make the playoffs.
Sounding like a true Minnesota fan right there. Any team Minnesota, that sounds exactly like what we're saying. Get rid of Cousins. Get rid of Cousins. We're good. We get rid of Parise and Suter. We're good. We're good.
It's the thing, we're in what would you call it? Just a contract vice. We have a problem of giving away just contracts that extend out into Neverland for an amount of money that we don't have.
Yeah.
Like,
the Wild have Parise Suter. The Vikings have Cousins. The Timberwolves, who fucking gives a shit. Nobody cares. The Twins had Mauer for the longest time.
Yeah. And then, like, the Wild, we just gave Zuccarello. I mean, granted, he's a good player. But he's, 31, 32, and we gave him a 5-year deal for a lot? And, now, Twins, Donaldson, great sign. But, I don't know. He's getting up there. But I think the Twins are going to be a little deadly this year.
Hopefully.
How about the Cubs? What do you think?
I mean, honestly, if you're a Minnesota fan right now, yeah, obviously it was a disappointing end to the Twins season and the Vikings season. But, the future is bright for both of those organizations, right? I mean, Timberwolves having a disappointing year, and the Wild are probably, even though I honestly have not been following them lately. After Carl took a little hiatus from his podcast, and I've been out of the loop from the Wild ever since. But I think with the Twins and the Vikings, Twins should be really good again this year. Vikings have a nice core. So I know it's frustrating when you haven't won a championship and you haven't been really deep into the playoffs, but I do think it could be a lot worse. There's other cities. I think about Cleveland right now.
I was just about to say we could be the Browns. Yeah, we could be the Browns.
Actually, didn't Detroit passed as the losing,
yeah.
The worst city.
Worst city ever. But then the Vikings this season also broke the record for the most playoff losses.
Yep.
At 30, which were the worst team ever.
I was going to say, that means you've been in a lot of playoff games.
But we've never fucking gotten the end result, which means, we're the worst team ever. So I felt happy about that.
Well, you got the Buffalo Bills up there, too, losing 4 straight Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, we could.
Well, technically, the Vikings have lost 4 straight as well. So
no, we didn't lose 4 straight. We lost 4.
Consecutive years.
Bills lost 4 consecutive years.
Consecutive years. Oh, okay.
So, So, hang your hat on that one, I guess.
I don't know if I can. Shit sucks.
There's still just an empty trophy case at U.S. Bank. Just
Shut up.
Oh, well, Keeley, before we let you go, what do you Mariners season from now? You got 38 games left. Where do you see this team going, and what do you obviously you want a championship end, but where do you see this team going? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think playoffs is the number one goal. I mean, obviously we want to win the whole thing, but in our second season, after missing the playoffs in the first season, just making it would be a big accomplishment. We happen to be in the kind of general consensus toughest division in the league. All 6 teams are really competitive. Last year there was 7, and Manchester actually ceased operations down to 6, and I think that's even made it more competitive. But I think it's a playoff team. I really think we are one of the top 4 teams on paper, and it just hasn't necessarily played out that way on ice yet, but I think the best is yet to come for this team. I think they are a tight-knit group that have a lot of experience now playing together after 1 year and now half of this year. And the Rangers have provided a lot of really good prospects on this roster right now. And it's not to say that they'll be here all year. You never know. They'll get called up. But Hartford's having a pretty good year in the AHL, so that's helped us out. So I think it's a playoff team, but it's not going to be easy. Nothing's going to be handed to them. They've got a 6-game homestand to start February, and then we have a real tough road trip, which takes us to Newfoundland, which is right now Newfoundland has won 16 straight home games. No one's beating them in their home ice right now. And then I think it's a total of like 7 of 8 or 8 of 9 on the road through the end of February. So it's really going to be the test in this next month to see where they're at going into March, which is basically the last month of the year. There's, I think, 4 games in April. But it's not going to be easy, but I do think if I were to be putting money on a team, then I would be confident in the Mariners right now. And it's just a matter of finding a little bit more consistency, and hopefully this week is the start of it.
Well, you just made 2 Mariners faithful right here. We'll keep an eye on it. And again, thank you to the Mariners for your donation to the autism show we got in April. That was really nice of you guys to do that. I know you said you don't really do it out of the state of Maine, so for you guys to really do that, it's well appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the interest. A shout out to our Director of Marketing, Natalie Toby, for getting that donation out to you guys, and thanks for the support of us as well. And also on behalf of my brother, thank you for the interest in his music and for using it on our show.
Yes, I was gonna reach out to him too and try and get him on here. Just have a little.
Oh, he would. Yeah, I'm sure he would do it.
Awesome. Yeah.
You already got his number. So
I do. I'm already in. Yeah, we love his music. We love your call. You'll have to tune in to this episode when I upload it just to hear the beginning. It's a Keeley fest, and I love it.
I can't wait.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Yep. Have a
Bye.
good one, Keeley.
All right. See you.
Patrick to Levi Stauber. Back to Justin Brown, high slot. Got it over to Pulaski. Score! Right under the bar, Chase Pulaski. Power play goal, Bruins 5, Bobcats 2.
All right, and we're back. Thank you to Keeley for that amazing, making our show sound excellent, I might add.
Absolutely.
We'll have to have him on again sometime. But it's time to get into the nitty-gritty.
Oh, the real reason you guys showed up today.
Oh, yeah, the weird news.
First, before we do that,
let's
we got to take this a little serious right now.
We're doing this now.
A little serious. I know you...
You picked the most shitty time.
That's why we do it now, so that way we can lift our spirits up after this.
Okay.
Some horrible news came out today.
Some very,
Some tragic news came out today. January 26th. The legend, everybody knows him, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, him and his daughter, who was 12, I think, right?
12, 13.
13. Passed away in a horrific helicopter crash in California with 4 other people heading to a basketball game. Our heart goes out to their family, friends. Of course, it went from a complete high from last night, him being in Philadelphia to watch LeBron pass him in points, to today being the low of his family. So thoughts go out to him, of course.
I mean, like me and Blake, we were talking before the show. Like, even if you don't follow basketball, like me or Blake, we don't 100% invest in basketball like we do hockey or anything. But you know the name Kobe Bryant.
just Kobe.
Like if you're watching like highlights on SportsCenter, you Kobe Bryant. If you're in school and someone hands you an empty barrel, you hear Kobe and fucking you automatically score a goal.
That's
into the trash.
Kobe is for accuracy, dude. That's just how.
Yeet for distance. But Kobe. So now every time you yell Kobe and you make it, it's gonna mean a little more.
It hits a little differently. So I wanted to take a second out to.
But like I was saying to you too, it's like people that name Kobe Bryant. Kobe. It's like LeBron. Like they can die. Like,
he's a fucking legend.
He's a hero. No matter what. So, but yeah, like Blake said, out to them. It's still it hasn't really hit me. It's weird.
It's
like someone like you see like this person died. Like okay, I know that name, but I don't know it. But like sports like this, it's like what?
The only other time it's hit me like this is Ryan Dunn.
Oh yeah.
Or Paul Walker.
Yeah.
It's like.
And it's just I think like the way that they died makes it just a little worse. Like I don't want to like get in horrific detail like how, but like it just not like us. Like if he was old and he passed away, fine. But just the way like he was young and his family,
And it's like he still had plans. Like it's not like like the lead singer of Linkin Park.
Yeah, Chester Bennington.
Chester Bennington, suicide. It wasn't like one of those.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, he had a mental illness that maybe we should have helped. He was on his way to a basketball game and some godforsaken incident happened that took him away. So I want to take a second to show our
respect,
appreciation,
and
for one last Kobe.
We'll never Kobe.
Kobe.
All
right, now what do you got?
All right, now to the weird news.
Weird news.
You're fucking weird.
All right. All I got to this week is more weird shower thoughts. Reddit's been throwing these at us, and we might as well read them, because last week we had a couple ones that were like, whoa. Like the one that's like, you might have like been standing right next to a person you gamed with, and they killed you, and you got to fight. You don't know.
And then I got some birthdays after that.
You got some birthdays?
So we're good. We'll wrap this up.
Yeah. All right. So look what we got. You didn't realize all the itches you have all over your body until you read this.
I have no itches over my body right now, but have you ever realized when you're trying to go to sleep, you itch more?
Everything fucking itches, and you're trying to go to sleep, and your body's like, nah.
It's because it's your body's anti-defense system for going to sleep. It'll start itching just to see if you are paralyzed or not. That's a weird news. Weird fact of the day. Had explosion in the background.
Someone just decided blue ink pens were equally as acceptable as black, and everyone just played along.
Them sons of bitches. I like red better. Red's my favorite color.
Yeah, I like red too.
Continue.
Yeah. You never notice how much your head weighs until you're resting it on your sleeping dog. I've never slept on my dog.
Oh, like it's the same thing about like when you're just like, I'm never in that thing because if anybody else, they're laying on me. But it's like, it's when you're putting your head on a pillow or something, you never realize how heavy it is.
Yeah, because the pillow's not going to scream.
Yeah, or like when you lay down on a pet or something, it's like, fuck. Yeah, okay.
A wireless charger restricts your phone much more than a wired one does.
It does, yep. Because it has to be touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're true.
So it's like, I have to pick up this entire device with the charger to be able to keep.
Because like at home,
you can move it around.
Yeah, my cord's like 10 foot at home, so I'm like.
Yeah, my cord that I was sitting right next to me is 7 foot, I think.
Yeah. Weird. There are probably tortoises still alive that saw Charles Darwin at the Galapagos Islands.
Yep.
Old pieces of shit. You would never drive that close to a car coming at speed in the opposite direction of you if it weren't for the line of paint on the ground between you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you're in a big open parking lot, you're going to be like way away from somebody if they're going 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But nope, on a 2-lane highway, sure, I'll go 70 miles an hour. I trust you.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. All numbers are closer to 0 than they are to infinity.
Yep.
Yeah. So what number is infinity? We don't know. Eating ice cream is portrayed as a happy moment as a kid, but is portrayed as a depressing one as an adult. Sometimes, yeah, I can.
Unless you're going to DQ and they're flipping that shit upside down.
I'm
That's
waiting.
always a good moment.
Fucking
you
one
see
in
that?
one in Austin does not do this fucking thing because I feel like our workers are just shit.
There's
They don't trust it.
There's also a meme going around where it's a dude went to McDonald's, and the chick went and flipped his cup upside down, and she goes, "Oh, sorry, I used to work at Dairy Queen," and it's
Habit
to flip somebody's
Wouldn't it funny if
drink
it
upside
would have.
down. It did.
Oh,
it
it
just
did.
Went all over.
Stop, sir. Excuse me.
Nice.
One of the biggest lies in the world is that the customer is always right. Yes.
Thank God somebody fucking says it. Every fucking day I deal with people like that.
Listen here, Karen. You're not always right. Okay. So fucking back off.
Or there's that one. Have you seen the video making the rounds of that religious chick? You're going straight to hell, motherfucker. Have you seen that one? I'm trying to help you,
motherfucker. She's a meme now.
Oh god, that's so funny. I'm so glad she got thrown in jail. She's a piece of shit.
She did.
Yeah, the end of the video showed her going to jail. Or there was another video.
I saw her getting hauled out of the store, but I didn't know she went to jail.
Oh yeah, she was in handcuffs. She was going to jail.
Motherfucker.
I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
Fucking people.
I fucking hate people.
People born in 2012 have a decent chance of dying in the reverse of that year. So, 2102.
What?
So people born in 2012, so they're 8 years old right now,
Yeah.
have a decent chance of dying in the reverse of that year. So 2102.
Which would be 80 years. I think 84, 80,
82 years.
82 years. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Average
So they'd be
life.
90.
Holy shit.
Right? So I don't fucking know that. This is not a math podcast. So moving on.
Moving on.
Dentists study the dangers of plaque in order to receive a plaque that says they can remove your plaque. I like that one. That one's a good one.
That was good.
I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to post that one.
That was going on Twitter.
No, yeah. Oh, get out of here. The truest example of a Pavlovian.
One more time?
Pavlovian. What the fuck is a Pavlovian? Pavlovian.
Pavlovian condition is that every time you hear Pavlov, you automatically think of a dog. Oh, it's like a dog, I guess. It's some sort. Hold on, let me Google it.
You Google it. I'm moving on. Right,
What's it called? A Pavlovian?
Pavlov. My name.
Ian. Pavlovian condition is let's just see what Pavlovian condition is. Also called classic conditioning, it's a type of conditioned learning which occurs between the subject's instinctive responses as occurred to operant conditioning, which is cognizant on the willful actions. So it's like you're telling the dog to do something.
Oh.
But then what's the dog? Now I gotta look up the type of dog this is. Oh, it's just a dog that knows how to do things.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Sure, whatever.
Moving on. The moon is the most amount of land most humans will ever see at once.
The moon, you said?
Yeah. The moon is
Yeah.
the most amount of land most humans will ever see at once.
Yeah, unless you're a spaceman.
Yeah.
Fighting that space army.
Space
Why the
man.
fuck do they need camo? Answer me that, army. Why do they need camo? They're in space. Shouldn't there be like black with some dots on it for camo? And not just like a fucking wooded camo? Figure shit out, U.S. Army. Please. Please. Not now!
Sorry.
FBI, go away. For fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake, see? Oh, as an adult, having a boring desk job in quotes, is seen as a bad thing. But we force children to have boring desk jobs for 12 plus years of their life.
Damn right we do. Worst 12 years of my fucking life.
Ugh, God.
I still get flashbacks. It's like Nom.
This is due next week. Yeah! Oh,
shit!
I got a month to do it.
Saves it till the day before.
Oh.
That's called procrastinating.
Oh, thank you, HuffPost, for automatically refreshing your page.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that does bring back a lot of thoughts. Like, nope, no thanks.
But now I have a boring desk job that I spend 8 hours a day.
But you don't have the great desk that you can crack your back on.
Oh, that's some true shit right there. I've talked about to like everybody there. I'm like, we should just get one of those school desks, just so we can go over and just crack our backs on and go back to it. Everyone's like, oh my god, yeah.
Just sitting in the corner. As an adult, there is nothing stopping you from turning your house into a giant blanket fort at will. Guess what's happening after?
Why have I never thought of that?
Guess what's happening after this podcast?
I'm making a goddamn giant blanket fort.
Just a turd out the window. Yeah. Your relationship with your cousins is based off your parents' relationship with their siblings.
Yes. I have a better relationship with my... Well, I have a better relationship with one of my cousins. Well, my aunts and my cousins, but that's only due to the fact that she had kids. The other one didn't really have kids when I was growing up. And now... Or the kids were a lot older than us.
Yeah.
So they were pretty much already moved out when I was growing up. But yeah, that's kind of true. Like you.
Yeah.
You and Cody.
Oh, yeah.
But that may be because that's your dad's side, right?
No, that's my mom's
side. Okay.
That's my aunt. Son.
Yeah. Your aunt. Yeah.
Yep.
You're pretty close with them.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm more closer with my mom's side due to the fact that my mom and dad have been split up for so long that I spent more time with my mom's side instead of my dad's side. So.
Yeah. It must be hard for dragons to blow out candles. Yes. It probably is.
That's a good one.
The scariest fireworks are the ones that don't explode. Yes.
Yes.
Because you're like, all right, I'm going to go pick it up.
No, you just stay the fuck away from
Kick
that. Get a 10-foot pole. Treat it like it's the Grinch.
Oh. Make sure the feds aren't outside the door.
Let me go check real quick.
Go check.
We're clear.
Okay, good. UFOs may actually be tourists carrying cruise ships from the future.
Them sons of bitches. And that's why they keep them in Area 51. Stop! We're trying to do a podcast here.
See you next, what was it? UFO Alien Fest 2?
We'll see you at Rating Area 51 2.0 next year. January 5th. 2021.
Being able to read minds would actually suck since with most people you just hear the same 5 seconds of song playing on a loop.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's like, don't you know more of that song? Yeah, but I don't want to.
Like for me it would be the very beginning of Nero Forte.
What the heck? Yeah. Pretty good stuff.
Or something from Rammstein.
Du hast mich, which we very well might be going to.
Oh, we're going. It's not even a fucking doubt in my mind. We are going to that concert on August 30th.
If it wasn't for their fame, Harry, Ron, and Hermione probably wouldn't have gotten jobs since they didn't attend the last year of school and didn't take their leaving exams.
Them sons of bitches.
There's a lot of these. Okay, there's only like 6 left. There's a point in childhood where you stop getting praised for long sleeps and start getting chastised for them or hated on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did you sleep last night?
16 hours? Jesus fucking Christ, get a job.
Damn, get a life.
Let's see, for you work till midnight some nights, so it's like, fuck it. If you don't have to get up.
There's nothing to do at fucking midnight. So I get home and I stay up till 4 o'clock, and I'm not waking up 8 hours. I'm not waking up 8 hours before my shift, so that way I can be up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
As long as you don't have to get up for work and Don't oversleep it.
Shut up.
You still have a job. You're good.
I do.
You probably barely are on the radar for truancy or whatever you call it. At work for not showing up. There's some people that just don't fucking show up and they don't care.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
maybe done it a couple times, but you're like, oh, fuck, I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'll get texts from work, and they'll be like, or from people from, like, coworkers whenever I'm late on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because,
They know.
on the weekends I have to work at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's like complete flip of my schedule from working 4 to midnight all week to 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So there's a little contingency with it, but there's also like I only get 10 points though for a year. So
You are not actually afraid of being alone in the woods or the dark. You are afraid that you are not alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That is true. I sometimes wonder if the CEOs of Coca-Cola and Mentos are friends in real life. Like,
they make so much money together. Why wouldn't they?
You'd think. Any dog dressed in wolf fabric is technically a wolf in sheep's clothing. Oh, God. All right, last one. Hopefully it's good. A super heavy object and super light object are both difficult to throw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You try to throw like a feather, it's just going to...
Yep.
Try to throw fucking... I don't know.
Giant boulder, it's not going to go anywhere either. So, yeah.
So there's your shower thoughts of
any
the
more
week.
weird news? Any weird news?
None of them are really super appealing.
Well, you look, I'm going to read off our January 26th birthdays of the day. Starting out number 1, we have Ellen DeGeneres. DeGeneres. She is 62 today. Did you remember Kid President?
Not
The big YouTube star back in the day, like 2012 area?
Not really, no, actually.
Kid President, he is 16 today. Sasha Banks, WWE, 28. The man, the GOAT, the legend, Wayne Gretzky is 59. Bobby Burns, I don't know who he is, but he's 23. Vince Carter, the basketball player, 43.
Yeah, I heard that.
Let's see who else. Eddie Van Halen turned 65 today. I think that would be it. Diablo, DJ is 24. Damn, me and him are the same age. Good for him. And that would be it.
That'll be it. Yeah, there's nothing worth
Nothing?
news now.
Any big news going on this week?
Do we have big news going on this week?
I don't know. I'm just asking you.
Not really. I mean, 2 weeks we got the pink game, but
Paint the ring pink. Can't wait.
this week I got an eye exam on Tuesday. As you can see, I'm not wearing my normal glasses because I stepped on my other ones. And
Damn. Didn't even notice.
Yeah. But I did get new eye insurance.
Ooh, there you
So it
go.
kind of worked out perfect. So
Eye insurance?
it doesn't cover eye exams.
Oh, what?
But I'll pay for the exam, but then any
The glasses.
glasses under $130 I get. So it's fine.
Splurge. I want to get some Oakley, motherfucker.
Just $900 shade. Yeah,
That
that's
brings
good.
me to a fact. Working behind a computer all day, I'm looking into getting some of those blue light canceling goggles.
Yeah.
Glasses. There's some different ones. There's like yellow tinted, and there's like clear ones that block blue light.
So you're not straining your eyes.
So you're not straining your eyes. Because
Yeah.
I'm literally looking at a TV screen all day, every day.
That's not good.
I get to work and I'm looking at a computer screen for 8 hours. I get home and I'm looking at a TV screen for 8 hours or however many hours. I go to bed with the TV on. Like, it's straining my eyes a lot. So I'm looking into them, seeing if I should get a pair.
Should.
But then it's like, what style do you want?
Yeah.
And watching I just watched the new Spider-Man movie, The Far From Home. The Tony Stark glasses, like the square ones.
Yeah.
Those look kind of sick.
Get some Tony Stark.
Like some of those, but with like blue light canceling.
Yeah, very well good. I was thinking completely a different topic. We were talking last week, podcast desk.
Mm-hmm.
We need
Yes.
we need to look into that and maybe make a trip to where would be the best place, you think?
I would think either IKEA.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt just to make like a cities trip and just go to IKEA. Maybe
I'd be down.
we have a plan when you're off.
I'm off Friday.
You're off Friday? I work Friday, but I only work till like 2:30. But
We gotta figure out how long that key is open for. But no, I'd be done because I want to get a bigger desk for our streaming setup here.
yes.
Right now it's just in my like dining area, and we have this tiny square. It's kind of high up, like bar table type of thing. It fits our computers and it fits our system, but I recently got a PC as well, and if I could get a nice desk that could hold a PC monitor with the tower plus our streaming stuff out here, that would be kind of cool. But then I kind of figure if I do that, I might change my living room up a little bit too.
Yeah.
So that way the TV is kind of more in line with here as well, so I can be watching TV over there. Might move the couch around, but I don't
And
know.
if we get a bigger desk, or like maybe if we got 2 medium-sized ones put together,
back to back or something.
decorate our own side. And I looked, IKEA's Friday open till 9. So.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. So we might just be making an IKEA trip.
Yeah.
And then we gotta get out. We gotta get out skating. I've only been
Skating,
out like twice.
I've been out once this year.
We'll get out
do
there
my
more.
back out for about 2 days. It fucking hurt.
I'm still waiting because I remember we signed up for Hockey Finder in the beginning, like first weekend of February. So that means this coming up a couple weeks, they should be opening up signing, and we'll do it right away so it's cheapest.
I'd be down to get back into that.
Well, no shit, we're getting back into there.
And we're buying some Ramstein tickets, seeing what other concerts we're going to. August 30th.
Yep. All right. Anything else you want to get out there? Race? No, life's good.
No more bullshitting. We're good.
No more bullshitting. All right.
Not that we were bullshitting before, but
All right. Well, again, thank you to Keeley for coming on. Keeley texted me just a couple minutes ago. He's like, dude, get on Ethan. So you know the song that's in our intro, UNWILL. It's his brother playing guitar on that band. We can maybe get him in on there. We'll try. But next week, we got Lucas Horvath coming on. It's going to be a good show. He'll talk about his latest album, and he's got something else coming up in the works he's going to drop just for us, he said.
Ooh,
He's going to lay some news out for us.
That means everybody's got to listen. We got a special report coming in.
Special report. All right. See you next week. Love you guys.
Have a good one.
Whoop.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.